Hello from Norwich Yacht Station, and this is kind of a follow-up video to last year's Grand Tour video because I realised I wasn't really going to make a video this year, but then through sheer good luck, I guess, we've ended up managing to fill in some missing bits. This is our boat, Aqualite, and she's an air draft of 7'3", which in modern terms is not a particularly low boat, so I wasn't expecting her to get anywhere Melody couldn't last year. However, the water levels are a lot lower. So, we've been to some new places this year already, and we'll go back in time to see those. Not all of them were places we meant to go deliberately, but here's the missing bits that we didn't do last year. Good morning from Thorpe, and we might be able to go somewhere I've never been before, and that is under the Thorpe rail bridge. Wow, we actually made it through. I've never been through here into Thorpe St Andrews. What an experience this year. In case you're wondering, yes, it is quite cold this morning, hence the layers. But why have I never been to Thorpe St Andrews? Well, there's two rail bridges at either end of this part of the river, and they cut like a canal next to it to avoid the bridges, because the bridges, the times I've been up here, have always shown 6 feet, and I've never come up here in a boat with a shallow air draft of 6 foot. But today it was showing 7.5, and we might get a video of us going back under the bridge if I can find some extra hands. So we're now on approach to the upper Thorpe rail bridge, and we'll see if we can get some shots of us going through it. This one looks taller than the first one, so it feels like a bit less of a successful mission, a challenge. Might even have as much as 8 feet underneath it. Looking tight. The height gauge is so dirty, I can't tell how tall it is. But we're definitely going to fit under. Just. And there we go. We're through the second Thorpe rail bridge. So that was yesterday. It's just as we came round the bend on the river Yar or Yare or Year, or just to make sure I've got all the pronunciations possibly, Yarry, no one's told me which one definitely to go for, I realised, well, the water levels are so low, I wonder if, and I've never got under the Thorpe rail bridges before, ever, and yeah, 7.5 feet showing on the board, so we could easily get our 7'3" boat through. What a lovely place. So onwards today. I don't think I'll be speaking to you again today, so the next point of our edit will be somewhere later in our holiday. Oh, and the hospital visit, which there's no video footage of because we were a bit busy, was for the boy. He managed to hit his head while we were out playing somewhere. He had to go to hospital. All is fine, but he has got one cracking bruise. Sorry, that's not funny. Turns out I am going to speak to you again today because we've managed to stop somewhere we haven't stopped before. Technically, we chugged past last year. This is Whitlingham Country Park. It's actually really nice. I've deliberately parked myself behind this horrible tin monstrosity, but actually if I turn a little bit, you can see a lovely lake, some lovely countryside walks, and just back there is the boat, and they've reopened their visitor moorings here, so it was a nice little place to stop off. Sort of counts as a place we haven't been before, I guess. So we approach another missing bit from before. We're just chugging on through Beccles, and we're on approach to Beccles Old Bridge. We need 7'3", and the board currently says 7.5 foot or 8 foot, depending on which board you read. So let's have a look and see if we get through. Hopefully, there's the camera. It's low, but I'm pretty sure we're going to clear it. Bit more ducking required. There we go, Beccles Old Bridge, and now we continue on down the Waveney on towards Geldeston, if that's how you pronounce it. So most often it's not really possible to get under Beccles Old Bridge unless you're in a boat like that one, a bathtub, or maybe one with a sliding canopy. But the water levels are so low this year that even a big dual steer cruiser like mine, albeit a low liner this year, can get through. The upper Waveney is just really beautiful. Thanks to the bridge, very few people get up here, so it's really quiet. Sadly, at the moment, kingfisher count remains at 0. One missing bit I can't be bothered to fill in is the Geldeston dyke up towards Rowancraft. It's narrow, it's long, and we're not going to stay there. We're staying down at the Geldeston locks. So that's that. And this is the end of the line down at Geldeston locks. Up that way, somewhere's a lock gate, but hire craft aren't allowed beyond it and it's not navigable. And over there are the Geldeston locks moorings, which is where we're mooring up tonight. A misty and cold start here on the upper Waveney, but it was absolutely worthwhile getting down to Geldeston locks. What a beautiful setting. We got photos of kingfishers, which you might see on screen, all sorts of lovely wildlife, and even though it's really misty this morning, and I suppose I can only see about 200 metres up the river, it's still really magical. Nothing else is happening up here, just lots of lovely little creatures. So there's another missing bit of the Broads ticked off, and I think there's just one more bit to do a little bit later on. People who watched the last video, you might know what's coming. So we're just passing the old Herringfleet railway swing bridge, and this might be enough of a clue to tell you the last missing bit that we're going to fill in this little video. That's right, there it is. Last year's nemesis that stopped us cruising down the lower Waveney, St Olaves Bridge. Last year I called it St Olaves, but someone said it's pronounced St Olives. It's spelt St Olaves, but there you go. So there it is, St Olaves Bridge, and it's showing about an extra 3 foot over what we had last year. So no problems at all. And now we proceed down the River Waveney. So we're through St Olaves Bridge, and now we're onto the lower Waveney, and we'll pass Castle. And this officially checks off all the bits we should have been able to do last year, except the low bridge stopped us. That's probably the end of the video, so it's probably time for the usual photo montage, because we did actually have a holiday while we were up here, and then there'll be some sort of pithy closing remarks. Here's a montage.